Hey everybody, I'm going to give you a little Payments Professor flashback. It's actually a flashback to a Payments Innovation Alliance meeting several years ago where I asked some professionals to give a little glimpse into the future of what they expect to see happen in the future of electronic payments. And it happens to coincide right now today with the 10th anniversary of Payments Innovation Alliance. In fact, I had so many answers from some payments professionals that I've broken it into two parts. Here's part one. I'm at Payments Innovation Alliance. Now, this is a place where we get together with payment professionals from around the world to discuss not just what's happening now, but what's going to be happening when it comes to payments. And I got a good friend here. This is my friend Joe. Now, Joe is one of those that I go to with my questions in payments. And I'm asking everybody here, what is it really that payments professionals, the ones that are making the rules, the ones that are influencing the regulations, what is it that you're looking at? What are the questions that you have when it comes to what's next, what's happening in payments?
Okay, excellent. I think faster payments is being looked at from lots of different perspectives. There's some solutions in the network already, or new networks standing up. But I think the part that may be missing is the last mile. So, for example, the clearinghouse. The clearinghouse has developed new rails, first new rails in 40 years. But at the end of the day, connecting from the institution to the consumer, the business's accounts receivable, accounts payable, that part needs attention. And we're looking at it, Niche is looking at it from how do we integrate, how do we have bankers, financial institutions, credit unions meet with fintech innovators and talk about that. Because the other side of that is the fintechs need education about payments. I've been working with the Mass Challenge in Boston, and they all know about card, but the minute you talk about a different payment channel, they don't know what other payment channels are out there. So I think integrating faster payments with fintech innovators, and again, on the startup level, is something we're going to focus on going forward.
You know what, Joe, can I ask one more question? Because, and what you're answering there is a question I get a lot of times. What would you say is the basic definition of fintech?
Fintech is, by definition, fintech is any company that's addressing a financial technology innovation. So it could be a brand new company with brand new technology. It could be an enhancement to an ATM system. So those are both fintech innovations. One of them is incremental, one of them is groundbreaking.
All right, thank you. Okay, everybody, I'm here with my friend Stephanie asking that question. What's the biggest issue facing payments today?
Well, Kevin, I think that the rise of all of these emerging payment technologies and really keeping up with all of the risk and compliance issues with regard to those, it's really important to stay informed and committed to your education. And the AAP and the APRP are both really great ways to do that.
I got to agree. Certification keeps you on task with what's happening, keeps you abreast of everything that's changing in the industry, and shows that you're actually an expert at what you're doing. So AAP certification, APRP certification, great ways to stay there.
You know, Kevin, one of the things that's been echoed quite a bit in some of my conversations, particularly with smaller bankers, is they're having all their hires are risk and compliance people because of all the complexities that policy and regulation have put on banks. And they're not able to hire payments professionals to advance their payments business and to satisfy their customers because all the money they have for hiring in HR is going into risk and compliance issues. So I think we need to lessen some of those regulations, and we need to start hiring payments professionals and not just a group of lawyers.
Everybody, here I am. I'm with my friend Angie. And she is definitely one of those that I go to, especially when it comes to check questions. She's definitely a check expert. She's a compliance audit expert too.
Hi, everybody.
Hey. Now, the question, of course, is what do you think is the biggest issue with U.S. payments today?
I think, Kevin, there are still compliance issues, trying to figure out how to stay compliant with all the rules and regulations from FFIC guidance, all of that the financial institutions are having to deal with. There's a really big issue of trying to stay compliant.
Yeah, and that is for sure one of the biggest issues out there, compliance. Thanks, Angie.
All right, you're welcome. Bye-bye.
Hey, everybody. I'm here with my friend Andrew. Now, Andrew actually lives in Berlin, and he is an expert on faster payments around the world. But we're asking him the same question we're asking everybody else. What do you think is the biggest issue facing U.S. payments right now?
It's a good question. I would say probably meeting changing consumer and business demands. So I think as technology advances, people and businesses, their demands change. So people want things faster. They want improved reconciliation efforts. They want to know what the payment is for. People just want everything faster and now. And I think banks are really struggling with that. Knowing how to charge for that, how to build new products and services on top of existing rails, and I think it's a big challenge to try to get everyone on board and moving in the same direction, given how big the market in the U.S. is and how diverse it is.
Right.
Great answer. Thanks, Andrew. I'm here with my friend, Fred. Now, Fred is one of those, again, payments professionals that I go to. He's been around for a long time. He knows the history of what's been happening in payments. Now, Fred, as a payments professional, with what we have currently happening in the industry, what do you think is the biggest issue facing payments in the United States?
There's a lot of issues, Kevin, but I think the biggest one right now is getting financial institutions to understand their options. And that really brings us to the whole faster payment space. What's going to work? What isn't going to work? Why should they do it? What's the demand? But it's just a lot of things for them to think about. Many of them aren't spending a lot of time worrying about those sorts of things. And so I really think that financial institutions need to pay a lot more attention to their payment strategy, where they're going, and what sorts of options they should be considering.
Faster payments, payments options, strategies. That's a lot to pay attention to.
You got
Thank you.
it, right.
Everybody, here I am with my friend George, and I'm asking him the same question. George, what do you think is the biggest problem in payments today?
Security.
Security?
Yes. If people don't feel safe about electronic payments due to the hacks and all of these things that are going on, account takeover, they're not going to trust electronic payments.
Okay, so is it security or is it trusting the payment?
I think they're tied together. I think it's one of the same.
All right, security and trust. There's one of the biggest issues in payments today. Thank you. Make sure you check out part 2, which I'm going to post later today. For now, class dismissed.